good morning or good evening from wherever you may have dialed in today. Thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to join us. My name is Kevin Wellgate, Sales Manager for Autobrade. Joining me today is Jason Bolus, our Operations Manager. So welcome to the future of woodworking. First off, let's take a quick look at our agenda for today. If you look to that image on the right, that's what we're going to be featuring today. It's our panel sanding system. Here's the agenda. Really quickly, we're going to do a quick introduction. Then I'm going to turn it over to Jason. He's going to basically go over the key points, features, benefits of the actual system. You'll see some live demonstrations. We'll get into some options for tooling. Then he'll come back around and we'll summarize it, and we're going to leave some time for questions at the end. Before we kick in the actual demonstration, let me share a brief background on how Autobrade and Autobrade was actually developed. So back in 1969, Walter Welsh, the founder of Autobrade, designed and built an air-powered portable tool now called the Dynafile to aid in grinding and finishing in hard-to-reach areas. Now, 55 years and over 1,000 tool models later, Autobrade has become the leader in high-quality pneumatic abrasive power tools. Autobrade, launched in 2023 as the new subsidiary, aimed at providing industrial automation systems to existing material removal and surface finishing applications around the world. Autobrade offers robotic solutions for many industrial channels, such as aerospace, metalworking, vehicle manufacturing, and of course, woodworking. A few years ago, phase one of our automation path began with offering end-of-arm tooling like custom grinders, finishing sanders, basically designed to be robot ready. That early success allowed us to broaden our technological capabilities, leading to complete standalone automation systems. One of those results is our new panel setting system, and we're proud to show it to you today. So the takeaway from this presentation is simple. Our mission to be a complete systems integrator, offering automated solutions for material removal and surface conditioning applications. So again, welcome to Autobrade and the future of woodworking. Jason, why don't you take it from here?
Hi, Kevin. It's great to be here. We have some industry-leading technology that we're going to share with you. In today's day and age, it's hard to find skilled laborers. So we set at the task of finding alternatives. And one of these is this great new turnkey complete system for panel sanding. It's industry-leading, and I'll point out the features as we go forward. When we do the overview, we're going to get into some of the key features like a proprietary camera system, which no one has the resolution or the ability to process the images that they are taking so quickly. And that is also due to the proprietary software that our system provides. You'll also see in the early stages of this demonstration a vacuum fixture table, which is key to the efficiency of this system. So right now, you can see panels being placed onto that work surface, which is the vacuum fixture table. You do not have to register or orient the panels in any specific way. All you do is turn on the system and the panels are secured to that work surface so that when the sander sands, it does not move the panel. Here's that camera that I spoke about earlier. It's a fixed camera, laser scanner, and you can see it right there, scanning the profile of those panels so that the software can do the rest and do the scanning to path planning efficiently and quickly. You'll see in this first sanding application, it's doing the inner perimeter, and then it's going to do a front to back overlapping sanding path. It will be followed by a right to left sanding path. Now keep in mind, you can change the amount of time that you spend in a certain location or the amount of paths that you want. And in this recess panel, you can see that we did those two select motions. Now it's going on to the rail. The software has already determined by that initial scan where the next panel is, and it's going to do the same routine that you set in that first program sequence. As I mentioned before, some of those parameters can be changed so that you can select the right recipe so that you get your sanded results that you desire. This will go through that same overlapping front to back, right to left, and then finish up on the rail. You will also notice that we are using an interface pad to conform the sander to the work surface. This helps give a uniform contact to the work surface so that you get perfect sanding every time. You can also go direct to the sanding surface with no interface for a more rigid and heavier removal rate. Right now, what you're seeing is the HMI. This is the interface that is very easy to operate. And on the left-hand side, you can see that there's many pre-programmed styles of different panels that you can choose from. You can choose from flat, recessed, raised, small, large, all these different predetermined sizes and shapes so that then you can start planning your path program. To the right and in the middle are those paths that are associated with each panel style. For our next demonstration, we're going to show you a flat panel. You can see it doing the same laser scanning, and then the software is going to do the rest. We predetermined to do a front to back overlapping sanding path for these flat panels, and then a right to left overlapping flat path. You will see a device in between the robot and the end of arm tooling or the sander. That is an active compliance unit that regulates and maintains the force or the pressure that is exerted onto the panel itself. It is very critical in the application so that you get consistent results with your sanding. As with all the parameters that we talked about before, by making recipes or the amount of path sequences that you want, meaning multiple passes of the same style, you can also vary the downward force, the traverse rate, and other critical steps to make that a successful sanding application. You do all of this before you even press the green button, so then when you press the go button, all it's doing is taking a scan of your randomly laid panels, and then everything else is done for you. For this application, we used an orbital sander with a rectangular pad, and we'll talk more about the tool selection later. Here is just another view of the HMI, which shows you some more detail as you change the panel style to show how many varying path trajectories that you can have. You can also see that you don't have to use them all. You select what's best for your panel sanding desire. Now here you're going to see a different style of panel. The previous ones were MDF. These are hardwoods that have been already stained and have a clear coat on them. You will also notice that the two panels are of different sizes and different colors. Our scanning capabilities can differentiate and make sure that you get perfect path planning no matter what the variables are. It'll scale to different sizes, and it will see different colors where our competitors have trouble doing this and gives you headaches. Right now, you're seeing what we did in the very first demonstration, where we're doing front to back sanding and then right to left so that you get full contact and sanding of that recessed panel, and then finish it up with the rail sanding. As I mentioned earlier, we have an orbital sander on this demonstration, but because you have chosen Autobrade, you get to pick from all of Dynabrade's full breadth of products. So that could be a random orbital sander, that could be varying size sanders, that could also be different head dimensions and shapes to get into the areas that you need sanded. You will also see that this sander is equipped with vacuum. All Dynabrade products that Autobrade uses in its systems have vacuum capabilities and can help keep your shop clean and lessen the contamination in between different sanding steps if you have multiple sanding steps. You will see an efficient and consistent sanding process. I mentioned earlier that this is going to help alleviate some of those labor issues that you can't find adequate skilled operators. The skill set of a robot is very consistent. So from the beginning panel to the last panel, you will get the same desired sanding results. Now here it is finishing up on the rail sanding. As we mentioned, we were showing for the majority orbital sanding, but you can see we have quite a breadth of product, and this is only the tip of the iceberg. On the very top, you can see that we have a dual head configuration that has a fixed orbital square or rectangular pad, and then you also have a random orbital as well. You can do wide open spaces with the random orbital, and then for the tight corner geometries, you can use your rectangular pad. Or like we showed you earlier, you can use the orbital to do the complete thing. You will see that we have the widest range of different diameter orbital products and random orbital products out there to fit the shapes and sizes of the panels that you desire to sand. We also have some unique products like inline sanding, which could help in metal applications for keeping the grain in the right direction and things like that. But the sky's the limit and the choices are yours. Autobrade will help you dial it in and make a standalone system where with a little simple prep work, you can get your job done as easy as pressing a green button to go.
Thank you, Jason. That was an awesome presentation. Appreciate that. So let's do a little recap. So what you see on the screen now is a quick summary of what we both just talked about. The most important one is, I think, bullet item number one. We provide industry-leading hardware, technology, and the know-how to ensure a positive customer experience. The complete system that we showed you in the image and then during the demonstration, it's got a few different components I just want to kind of summarize. So obviously it includes one industrial cobot. You get one tool, better known as an end effector or end of arm tool. There is a active force control device included in the package that's used to control your downward force. As Jason mentioned, there is a vacuum suction table. What that does is eliminates the need for any fixturing. The proprietary 3D vision system is also part of the package. It allows the HMI to see the workpiece in 3 dimensions, which is a huge plus over some of the other systems you may see out in the field. And then the software is also proprietary, and it comes with, the pre-programming already built in, as Jason showed on the HMI slide. And what that basically means is this system is really built for the non-technical operator. So there's no real point-to-point programming necessary to be educated on. So that system right there is pretty much a turnkey setup. And as you saw it, starts around $200,000 US dollars. Some other things that we provide are, as in value-added services would be, we've got a full-scale lab here in Buffalo, New York. We process parts from customers all of the time. That's called a POC, or a proof of concept. Some of our customers ask for a detailed ROI, or return on investment. We do those studies as well. And all of that material and labor is done free of charge. And of course, you've got full local support here. I've got a team of 3 exceptional guys that do a heck of a job. If you're interested, we have financing is also available. And we could take that offline. You can contact us anytime about that. So thanks again for your time and interest. I think we're going to open up the meeting now for questions. Jason, we got the first question here. So how big is the table? I'm assuming we're talking about the vacuum table.
So the vacuum table is 4 foot by 8 foot. So that table, you can tile up as many of your uniquely shaped panels as you can fit on that table, or you can go up to that max size of 4x8 to hold that into position.
And it's a two-part question.
Sure.
Can you make a larger table to run larger projects such as doors?
Good question. Anything's possible. I'll answer that first. But yes, we at Autobrade do a lot of custom work. It comes at a cost, of course, and time. So we'd love to take that challenge on. If you give us the dimensions that you require, we can get an answer to you about lead time and what that additional cost would be to accommodate full-size doors. Some other things might need to be factored in depending on how big that size is, because you have limitations with the reach of the robot, but we will try to answer that question as fast as we can. If it's necessary, we might need to put it on a 7th axis, which gives the robot the ability to move along longer spaces.
Thank you, Jason. Appreciate that. Do you offer this force compliance unit, or can we source it elsewhere?
Good question. Yes, we provide this compliance unit, part of the total system, but it can be also a replacement part, and it could be substituted or taken out of the equation if that's what you prefer, depending on what your final results need to be.
Great. Thanks, Jason. How can you change the sanding sheets automatically?
Yes, there are options for automatic abrasive changing. We did not show you that today, but keep in mind, and other previous customers have had this same question, but you will be changing out the panels. And as you determine what your solution is as far as how many panels you get per abrasive, you can also put a routine step in where the robot puts in a rest motion so that you can change the abrasive inline when you're substituting the finished panels out and putting in new panels. So because you're going to have some machine tending, we recommend that might be a good option for you. But if you need an abrasive changing station, we can also supply that at an additional cost.
Thanks, Jason. We've got another question that came in. What's involved in the realm of safety?
Good question. As you can see in the demonstration, the operator was able to freely put the panels onto the work surface and then step away and let the sander do its thing with the robot. Well, to keep that a safe environment, you have to factor in where this is going to be put into your facility, as well as how you want people to engage it. But even though it is a cobot, the way that we are designing this system and seeing that it has a sander on the end of it, we cannot claim it to be a cobot where you can freely work around it. You have to protect against engagement with it. So in the front portion of the work surface, there's a proximity sensor that allows you to run the cycles with that safety feature on. And if you break that field, you will stop the sander and the robot so that it will not hurt the human that broke into that work zone. So depending on where you're going to put that in your facility, you might use the walls of your facility to help keep the human interaction to a minimum. But where you can't, we can put proximity sensors or light curtains or something that would give an e-stop to the robot if a human got too close to where danger might be.
Thanks, Jason. They're rolling in now. So here we got another one. Do you need to update the software?
You do not need to update the software, but as our software development team creates new benefits within that environment, we will give you the option if you'd like to add those new features into your sanding routine. A lot of our customers who have had this installed, once they set it, it's pretty set, and I would recommend that if you're happy with it, keep it the way it is. But if you want to take advantage of some of the new updates, we would help you and walk through with how to do that. And it's as simple as like updating the software on your phone. It's quick, and then you have the new features available. But right out of the box, and what you saw today, that's ready to go. And if you never want to update your software, you'll still have that functionality. This is not a subscription-based device. We won't sell this to you and ask you for subscription fees to update the software or something like that. Once you own it, it is yours.
All right. Thanks, Jason. Again, one quick one here. And actually, it's a pretty good question, too. Will the table support or hold the stainless steel part versus woodworking?
Yes, this will hold anything that can be vacuum suction down. So something with perforations, maybe not so much, but as Kevin had said, we have the POC opportunity here at Autobrade. So if you have a workpiece, we can try it. But in a general sense, yes, metalworking applications can be sanded on this table. The real ideal shape are flat panels. The optical reach of the camera is about 1 foot, so you can't really easily take shapes that break that plane. But if it's flat and has profiles, it can do it just like we demonstrated with the raised panel doors.
All right, well, that goes hand in hand with this one. So we've got another one here. How does the machine perform on raised panel or cove profiles?
Yes, so in that library of shapes and styles, we have ready to go algorithms to scan and then path plan for those shapes. Raised panels, it will all keep within the sanding zones that you would expect, the flat shapes, so the rail and the top raised panel. The sides or the sloping nature of the panel, that is something that will still need to be sanded either pre this station or post by some other means. This station is not capable of sanding those recesses of the recess panel.
Cool beans. All right, I think this one's a trick question. Hold on a second. It says, how do you ensure that you do not sand through first layer? I'm assuming when you showed the hardwood doors, they were obviously stained, they were obviously sealed. So how do you protect that?
So just like every current operation, they have their routine, and some people may use different clear coats or different products or multiple layers of those products. What I recommend is using our lab to help you dial in to get that desired result. It's a combination of those parameters that I talked about before, where you combine the downward force, the traverse rate, the grit of the abrasive, and how many passes you need to sand that properly. So it's going to be a varying scale depending on all those other incidental factors that I talked about, like the clear coat hardness and things like that. But we would love to take that on and help you dial in your recipe. You probably already know how to do that with hand operators. It's not going to be too far off as you transfer that into robotics.
Excellent. That's the, I think that's the last question. And Jason, great finish, literally.
I like the puns.
So anyways, I hope you appreciated and enjoyed what we brought to you today. Thank you to everybody who tuned in. Looks like we got people from all over the place. So awesome. So my last pitch is here. If you're interested in taking the next step into the future of woodworking, please don't hesitate. Contact us. We've got a couple ways. It's up on the screen right now. We've got a new website at autobrade.com. You can see it in the bottom corner. We also have our own dedicated email address, which is simply info@autobrade.com. Looking forward to hear from you all. And anybody who's local can actually set up a visit and come see us, bring parts, and we'll take it from there. So this is the end of the presentation. Again, enjoy your weekend. Stay safe out there, and thank you.